What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stevie the Black. That's Steve the Black. I'm back, and I'm here to give you my Eagles review, 2018 Eagles review for the season. I was gonna do this tomorrow, Wednesday, because that's when I normally do my videos and predictions and all that stuff like that. But I just couldn't wait anymore, and I just had to do it. So I said, screw it, I'm gonna do it today. So first of all, I want to know how you guys are doing. How are you guys doing after it's been about 2 days now since we lost to the Saints, man. And man, how you holding up? Me, I'm okay. I mean, I just think I've gone over it in my head a couple times. I've gone back and I watched the play a bunch of times, and I'm thinking to myself, why were you rushing? Why? He says he was trying to catch the defense off guard or something like that, like they were slipping. And it backfired in the end. It's just, I'm just like, and Alshon dropped the ball. And a quick little side note, all of the Eagles fans that I have seen on social media, they're like, bro, Alshon, man, don't beat yourself up, man. You've come through us for the clutch, man. We wouldn't be Super Bowl champions without you, man. We love you, Alshon. Put your head up. Even a fourth grader, I think it was a second grader, wrote this man a letter telling how much we love and appreciate that man. But Eagles fans are so horrible and mean. But the Bears fans were sending Cody Parkey death threats and cussing this man out, all this and that. But Eagles fans are the worst. I just wanted to get that out the way real quick, because we're showering this man with love and praise, and we love this man. But Cody Parkey, but I bet you the Bears trying to threaten this man's life, I bet you that won't get brought up. But yeah, Eagles fans are so horrible, man. They booed and cheered when Michael Irvin got hurt on the field. They threw snowballs at Santa Claus and all that stuff. Man, get that mess out of here. Anyway, just want to get out the way. Another thing I want to get out the way real quick is the Saints, man, were celebrating in their locker room with ski masks and playing Dreams and Nightmares. And I'm thinking, what are you gaining from that, okay? Yeah, what are you gaining from that, okay? Like, I don't understand what your beef is with us. Like, we didn't do anything to you. You blew us out, and then what do you have to gain from doing that? I clearly I don't understand. I really don't. It makes me hate them even more, and I hope the Rams win. Sorry, Drew Brees, but your teammates, bro, and your coach. Besides you, I will fight them all. I will fight them all. That makes me want to fight them. But anyway, going over everything in my head, man, I'm just like, maybe it was a blessing in disguise that we didn't win, and I say that because this team, bro, was hobbled. Dudes was walking out the stadium in walking boots and everything, man. I'm just like, they were hobbled. They were, we would have went into Los Angeles hobbled, and we might have got blown out. The way they were playing against the Cowboys, CJ Anderson and Todd Gurley and everything, and just, man. Well, anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. But anyway, I just wanted to take this opportunity again to thank Nick Foles for everything he's done, man, these past 2 years, man. But he's coming. He's put the city of Philadelphia on his back when we were number one seed last year, and he came in and helped us win the Super Bowl, obviously. And then this year, we were on the verge of missing the playoffs, and this man comes in, helps us win 4 straight games, and we're in the divisional round with 2 minutes left. Despite the fact that he didn't even play that well in the game, we're down 2 minutes left, and we had the opportunity to beat Drew Brees and the Saints in the Superdome. Like, we were 2 minutes away from the NFC Championship game and a game away from going back to the Super Bowl. Like, I can't thank this man enough. I really, really can't. But I'm kind of exhausted, with everything that's been going on this season and last season and the Super Bowl and celebrating all off season and rubbing it in people's faces, I'm kind of exhausted and I'm kind of ready for a break. You know, this season has been frustrating. Last season was so wonderful and everything. It's just, I'm emotionally drained, and I'm kind of glad that it's kind of over. You know, just a chance to step back and press the reset button and get things right. Get things right. So, just real quick before anything else, I'm gonna go over the season real quick and review the season, obviously, and then go on my thoughts about what the team should do and what I think that they should do and everything else like that. So, obviously, we opened up the year on that Thursday night against the Atlanta Falcons. We beat them 18-12. Remember, this is when Nick Foles started off the season. Remember that. The team as a whole was not looking too good. Remember, all preseason, you know, everyone was like, bro, like, something don't look right, you know? Like, I don't understand what it is. Like, why is the offense looking like this? Why is the offensive line not blocking? It was weird, but, you know, Jay Ajayi, remember that's when we saw the Philly. Not Philly special, we saw the Philly. You know, it was a different play and everything, right? That game was exactly like the wild divisional round matchup with the Falcons in the playoffs earlier last year. And it came down to the wire. Once again, the Atlanta Falcons on the goal line. Julio Jones, he caught it this time. Everyone, all the Falcons said, oh, if he had caught it. Well, he caught it this time, but he just couldn't catch it in bounds. And once again, the Eagles won and beat the Atlanta Falcons 18-12. Next, we had the Buccaneers. Remember I made that video? I waited 10 days for this. You know, every time Deshaun Jackson plays this, man, he has the game of his life all of a sudden, you know. That's when the Buccaneers were on their high and everything like that, and they won. So, that's when Mike Wallace went down, Jay Ajayi went down, Jason Peters went down, and we're like, oh my God. Anyway, so next, game 3, Carson Wentz returns. That opening drive, obviously everything looks great, and then everything after that slowed down, and we ended up beating the Colts 20-16. Yeah, you know. So then next we had the Tennessee Titans when they beat us in overtime 26-23. And I remember because I was so upset, bro. I was so upset. I was furious because the Titans kept converting fourth down after fourth down after fourth down after fourth down. And I remember I was so frustrated. I was like, bro, just put it in. Just put it in the end zone and just end this game, bro. That was where I was like, something's wrong. That's where I'm starting to realize something's wrong because we're struggling against the Colts team the week before. We barely beat the Falcons, the Tennessee, and now Tennessee Titans. They're for what? They couldn't stop a lick on defense. And I remember that's when the whole thing about Carson Wentz being clutch or not kind of started. Like, because I'm like, yo, if he puts it in the end zone, bro, it's over. It's over. You know, but anyway, so then the Vikings game, Vikings controlled the game throughout the whole entire time. They beat us 23-21. So, nothing really to talk about that game. They owned us in that game. Their revenge for the NFC Championship game, I suppose. Then we go and we beat the Giants. We beat them 34-13. Nothing new. The only thing I could take away from that game was Saquon Barkley was a beast. He was a beast. But because, you know, the Giants suck, it's just one man couldn't do it by himself. And remember my friends, Addy was like, bro, we're back. And I'm like, whoa, hold up. Let's win a couple games first in a row because we hadn't done that yet. I'm like, let's win a couple games in a row. And let's see. We got the Panthers next week. We should be able to handle them. Lord and behold, we lose to the Panthers 21-17. I remember for some strange reason going into the fourth quarter, we had controlled the whole first. We had controlled all three quarters, and I remember going into the fourth quarter, and I'm going, I just don't think something was telling me 17 points is not enough. 17 points is not enough. We need to put maybe at least one more touchdown. We should be good, right? And then the team just collapsed, especially on defense. 3 straight drives for touchdowns. And then, like, I remember bringing up constantly, Wendell Smallwood was open, and Carson Wentz decided to throw it to Alshon Jeffrey in double coverage. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And again, the thoughts of him being clutch came back up. And I was kind of like, bro, what the heck, man? Like, we could have just won this game, man. Then we go to the London game against the Jaguars, 2 teams who are trying to hold on to their season for dear, dear life. The Eagles and the Jags. The Eagles ended up winning 24-18. It was closer than I would have liked. And I remember, had we lost to Blake Bortles, I was going to go off. But Carson Wentz ended up having a good day. 3 touchdowns and everything like that. Yeah. So we ended up winning. Then we had the bye week, and then the Cowboys were coming to town. They were 3-5, and I remember I was so excited. I was like, bro, we about to end the Cowboys season. They about to be 3-6. They about to be done. It's so great. And the offense looks terrible. The defense couldn't stop Ezekiel Elliott. Amari Cooper broke. Amari Cooper, he shook that man Ronald Darby so bad that he tore his ACL. I was like, bro, really? Okay. But the Cowboys ended up winning that game 27-20. I remember I went to a I don't want to say sports bar, but it's kind of what it was, sports bar / restaurant with my friend David, who's also an Eagles fan, and I was just like, oh my god. So then we get to New Orleans, and that's where we got blown out 48-7. I think we were 4-6 at the time, and people were calling us the worst Super Bowl champions in history. And I was at that point let me backtrack. After we had lost the Cowboys, I said the season was over. We were 4-5, I believe, and I said, how do you let them come into your house and beat you? I was done. It was at that point I said the season's over. I don't think we're doing anything. That's it. I'm done. And then that's when the blowout happened. I didn't even watch that game. I was going to watch that game because we were going to be on TV. But my mom wanted to have family time. So I had to leave the house. But I didn't even see it. So we got blown out. And I'm just like, ugh. So then we have the Giants. We were down at 1 point, 19-3. And I'm just like, dag. I remember how we lost that game, we would have had the same record as the Giants. And I was like, oh, that is so unacceptable. I cannot believe this is about to happen. But then, and Saquon again was killing us. But then, something happened. The roles reversed. The Eagles turned on the gas, and the Giants just, I don't know, what did they forget about Saquon or something? I don't know. And we ended up beating them 25-22 with a Jake Elliott field goal, just like last year, except it was not 61 yards. But hey, we got the job done. Then we go to the Redskins, or the Redskins come to us, and we beat them 28-13. I remember in that game, we controlled that game pretty well, but Carson Wentz did not look particularly good. And I'm thinking, we got to have the perfect game. Because had we beaten the Dallas Cowboys, we had the Cowboys next week in Jerry World. And I said we needed to beat them. We needed to have the perfect game so we could win and take back the NFC East, because that's what was happening. We get the Cowboys, and that's the game where the ref screwed us, like literally screwed us out of the game, and we ended up losing. Now, once again, the Cowboys pretty much controlled the whole entire game. Again, Amari Cooper goes off. And we ended up going to overtime. We did end up getting it to overtime, but both times when we went to overtime, I'm sitting here and I'm going, bro, I don't feel good about overtime. I don't feel good about it. And defense was doing their best to keep us in the game, but the offense just wasn't clicking until the fourth quarter. And by then, they were gassed. And by the time we got to overtime, it was just too late. Carson Wentz never saw the ball. And Amari Cooper got a lucky tipped pass, caught it, and into the end zone. And that was all she wrote. And once again, we were 6-7 at that point, and I'm saying, yep, season's definitely over. I'm done. I'm checked out. Then come to find out the next day, Carson Wentz has a back injury, so he's out. And I'm saying, oh my God, here we go again. And I said, but that would explain why he's been playing the way he's been playing, because not only does he have the knee, which isn't fully healthy, but now he's got the back. So then Nick Foles comes in. I'm thinking, I love Nick Foles, but I just don't think he's going to be enough. And lo and behold, we beat the Rams. And I said, wow, where this team been at all year? The second time we'd have put up 30 points, we beat them 30-28, 30-23. And I'm thinking, where this team been at all year? Where they been at? Putting up 30 points with Nick Foles. Then the next week, at Lincoln Financial Field, we faced the Texans, the team I thought we could beat all year. Didn't scare me. We ended up beating them 32-30. Matter of fact, we had at one point, I believe we had a 29-16 lead, and the Texans came back and they took the lead because Jake Elliott had missed the extra point, and I'm thinking, oh God, we're about to lose. I can't believe it. Nick Foles gets rocked, but he does complete the third down pass to Alshon. He comes out for one play, then he comes back in and leads the Eagles on the game-winning drive for the game-winning field goal, and we beat the Texans. And I was like, oh my God. So now, that's 2 wins in a row. And I'm sitting here, I'm going, okay. Then we go down to Washington, beat the Redskins 24-0, shut them out. And I'm thinking, oh my God. Now we just need the Bears to beat the Vikings. And Lord and behold, the Bears beat the Vikings because Kirk Cousins sucks. And I'm saying, oh my God, we're in the playoffs. We're 9-7. We're in the playoffs. Nick Foles does it again. Eagles are like, bro, we got your attention now. Do you believe? Do you believe? And I'm like, I guess I got no choice but to believe. So we go into Chicago. We play a pretty good game. We only put up 16 points, although it should have been 18. We put up 16 points, and with a tipped field goal, the Eagles go in and they beat the number 1 defense in the NFL, 16-15. And I'm thinking, oh, bro, revenge time. And then you guys already know my thoughts on the Saints game, and we ended up losing 20-14. But we were that close to beating the Saints and getting our revenge, and 2 minutes away from the NFC Championship game. And I'm sitting to myself thinking, what if? Whew! I don't even know when I started, but now it's 18 minutes on my phone. So that was pretty much the season. So now what? Now the season's over. Our season's over. I listened to Doug Peterson's press conference today. Well, not the whole thing, but just bits and pieces. He did confirm Carson Wentz is going to be the starting quarterback. My guess, what they're going to do with Nick Foles is trade him, franchise tag him, and trade him to get something for him. They're just not going to let him walk. Somebody out there is going to want him. Maybe it's the Giants. You know, you're thinking, well, with that offensive line, Nick Foles, he's not going to be good. Well, if the Giants get Nick Foles, trade for Nick Foles, right? Then they could go into the draft and shore up the offensive line, right? I'm not suggesting trade him to the Giants unless, you know, they give us a good offer we can't refuse. But you never know. But here are my things. Doug Peterson also said that that Mike Groh and Jim Schwartz are going to be back next year. So I'll deal with Jim Schwartz first. I don't mind Jim Schwartz coming back, and I'll say this. Despite all the injuries that we had this year, he somehow made it work in the end, and we were 2 minutes away. Again, 2 minutes away from going back to the NFC Championship game. And although the Saints did control the game from the second quarter on, they only did held Drew Brees and company to 20 points, despite all of that. So I say he earns one more chance, but there are things that we need to do. I would like to keep Michael Bennett, especially with Chris Long. I believe he's retiring. I would like to keep Michael Bennett. I love that guy. Maybe we can get Ndamukong Suh once he's done with the Rams if they don't want to keep him. I would love to get him to replace Haloti Ngata, it's just him with Fletcher Cox. I mean, if him and Aaron Donald, him and Fletcher Cox, that could be, pretty good. Obviously, I think Tim Jernigan, I think he's staying. So, obviously, you need to do something with the secondary. I don't know what you're going to do with linebacker or safety. Some people saying maybe Jalen Mills can be safety. He's definitely going to have to do some things. But I do think Maddox and LeBlanc, those guys specifically, I do like those guys. They did step up a lot. So I think we keep those guys. Those could be guys, great depth guys. Obviously, we still have Sidney Jones and Rasul Douglas. Like him, I don't know if you keep Ronald Darby. Maybe you let him walk. I don't know. We'll see. But we definitely see. Here's the thing: Jim Schwartz's defense is all about the defensive line getting to the quarterback. If they don't get to the quarterback, the secondary does not do too good. So that's what I'm saying. You got to do something about that defensive line. You got to improve it. It got better once Tim Jernigan got in there, but I need constant pressure. I need sacks. I need hurry ups. I need turnovers. That's what was killing us this year. We didn't get a lot of turnovers. We need that. We need fumbles. All that stuff. So shore up that defensive line. Not a lot of stuff to do. A lot of simple stuff to do in the secondary, but we should be fine. Offense. If I'm the Eagles, I'm drafting a left tackle in the first round. I think Jason Peter needs to retire. Like, the man hasn't been healthy all year. You can argue maybe he comes back for one more year to be fully healthy, because he was rehabbing just like Carson Wentz, and neither of them had a great year. So I'm willing to listen to Jason Peters. I think he needs to retire, but I'm willing to listen because he was rehabbing. Maybe this offseason he trains, he gets back in shape, he gets fully healthy and everything. He gets better. Maybe I'll think about it. Darren Sproles, I love me some Sproles, but I don't know. He's thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know, because the running back, that is priority number 2. My thing is, figure out a way to get Le'Veon Bell. Figure out a way. I know people talking about, we got to pay Carson Wentz. I'm going to get to that. Figure out a way to get Le'Veon Bell, because running back was really bad this year. Had we had J.J., maybe it would have helped. Clearly, you saw they went away from Josh Adams for some reason. Wendell Smallwood, he is what he is, but... And then, obviously, Corey Clement, he's got to go back to that third down role, He's got to go back to being the third guy. He cannot be first or second. He's got to be the third guy. Clearly, he couldn't do it this year. Everything like that. What else? Because I don't have much time left. Deep threat. We need a deep threat. It killed us. Look, I understand this. Alshon, he's good. He can get down the field, but he's not going to do that all the time. That's only when you buy him some time. And this offensive line has its moments. He's not the deep threat. Nelson Aguilar, he cannot be on the outside. He is a slot receiver. So he's gotta be in the slot. He's a slot guy. When he was in the slot during our Super Bowl run, he was excellent. He was great. So yeah, we gotta get a deep threat. Like I've been saying it. Sure, Torrey Smith did have a lot of drop passes. He did. He wasn't productive, but he drew attention. I mean, you had to respect his speed. So I don't know if that means they'll bring back Mike Wallace, or maybe they go to Deshaun Jackson. Although my feelings toward bringing back people who used to be here in the past, I'm not really down for that. But, I mean, if they want to bring Mike Wallace back, I'm not opposed to it. He never really got a chance to shine, so, let's see what he's got. Um,
We're gonna take the hot.
what?
I have to take the thing off the hot tub.
All right. Let me just finish this up. I'll meet you outside. Carson Wentz. Obviously, I think he's due for a contract extension this year, off season. I don't think he should sign it. Not because I don't think he deserves it, but I think he needs to prove it to himself that he can still do it. He needs to prove it to a lot of people. A lot of people seem to forget that last year he was an MVP candidate. He should have been the MVP. He would have been the MVP if he didn't get hurt, but he didn't. He wasn't. Obviously, this year he wasn't going to be himself because he's recovering from the ACL and everything, and the knee and everything, so he wasn't going to be himself. Remember when Alshon came here, I think the Eagles offered him some big contract, but he turned it down so he can have a prove-it contract. A prove-it contract to prove it to himself that he can still play at a high and elite level. I think that's what we need to do with Carson Wentz. Don't sign him to that contract. I think he still has 2 years left on his deal. He has a 5th-year option, right? So I think Carson Wentz needs to prove it to himself, prove it to the doubters out there that not only can he sustain being here on a full off season, but that he can, so that he's not injury prone, and finally get into the playoffs. Because these past 2 years, man, we've been in the playoffs. It's been Nick Foles. It hasn't been him. And as much as we ride on Dak Prescott, at least he's been in, 3 playoff games now, I think? Yeah. He's only 1-2, so all Carson Wentz has to do is win 1 playoff game. And But, that's pretty much about it. Mike Groh is staying. I don't like that because we were getting off so slow, but I'm willing to give him one last chance, like I'm willing to give, I guess, Jim Schwartz one last chance. We'll see what goes down, but this is his last chance. It's both their last chances, actually. So I just want to get back to winning. I posted this on Facebook, and then I'm going to be done. These past 2 years, the Eagles have been ridiculed with injuries, dudes falling left and right. I think we should change the medical staff, but they want to stick towards it. Oh my God, why do we got to be so stubborn? But the first year, last year, we were injured. But what happened? We won the Super Bowl. This year, we were really injured, way worse than the year before, but we ended up making the playoffs, beating the number 1 defense, and was 2 minutes away from going to the NFC Championship game. If this Eagles team can stay healthy all year, like the Saints, like the Rams, like the Cowboys, if they can stay healthy, not only are they the best team in the NFC East, but they are one of the top teams in the NFL, I believe, altogether. Because, again, if you could take a riddled, beaten, broken down team, literally held together with Band-Aids and glue, and they can win a Super Bowl and a couple playoff games, imagine what they can do if they're fully healthy. Imagine that. As much as it pains me to say, the Cowboys are right there with us, and although the Giants and the Redskins are definitely below us, they do keep things interesting. They do. That's why I was so wanting to win the Super Bowl badly last year, even when Carson Wentz went down, because I knew the next year was going to be harder, and the years after that were going to be harder. But I believe in this team, man. And I think if they get Le'Veon Bell, they get that deep threat, and this team stays healthy, I believe we're going back to the Super Bowl next year. Super Bowl 54 in Miami. Heck, I live in Florida, so I might be going to the Super Bowl. But I think they can do it. That's why it kind of heartbroken to me when Brandon Graham was, in there crying and everything, and Alshon was blaming himself. And I'm like, bro, I love this team, man. I love this team. If they can just get it together. They can get it together, stay healthy, man. Nobody's touching them. Nobody's touching them. But anyway, before I go, this has been going on for too long. You know how I've been playing songs for you all year. I've got one last song. You guys have probably seen this video already, but I'm going to go ahead and play it. So enjoy it. No one likes us, we don't care. We're from Philly, Philly. Likes us, we don't care. No one likes us, we don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly, score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly, on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! There you go. I love you guys. Thank you for all my video subscribers. I cannot wait to see you guys next year for the season. I believe in this team, man. They've shown me not to doubt them, you know, and I want what's best for us, what's best for the team. So with that being said, that's about it. Peace out. Love you guys. I might do a video for the Super Bowl. I don't know. P.S. Rooting for Andy Reid. Peace out.